family, my name is Felicity and welcome to Congo Talks 243. If this is your first time, I would encourage you to subscribe first of all, just so you are notified every time that I post a new video. And for those of you family who have been here for a long time, welcome back. I'm so glad you're still here. So in today's video, I just want to offer my opinion and also hear your opinion about this topic. I'm always having these debates with other Congolese people and also other African people, and we are always basically debating on whether or not European languages are useful on the African continent. And we have, different sides of people, those who think that European languages definitely are a good thing for the African society, and others who think that European languages should just disappear on the African continent. We don't need them and that. Now, the way that I think about this topic in particular, or this discussion in particular, is that there's a good side about the European languages that African countries speak today. And the good side is that for most African countries, we are very diverse societies. We find that in many of our countries, we have different tribes, and these tribes have their own languages. So the fact that we speak a common language is a good thing because it provided us some means of communication. But a very bad influence that I feel like European languages have left on the African continent is the fact that we tend to almost devalue our languages. People are not as proud to speak Congolese languages, for example. They're not as proud to speak Kikongo. They're not as proud to speak Swahili as much as they are when they speak English or when they speak French, for example. And that is one thing that has been passed on from one generation to the next. That is one thing that I find is really unfortunate. I'll give you an example. Like in Congo, for example, when someone speaks French incorrectly or says something incorrectly, a lot of people will come at them. They'll be like, no, that's not how you say it. You are illiterate. You did not study. You're not smart. And for me, when I look at things like that, it just personally pisses me off. Because I'm just like, why would you say that to them? Why should you judge someone's intelligence based on their abilities to speak good French or based on their abilities to speak good English? And most of the time people give me answers like,
oh, because our education system is in French, French is our official language, and we study in French, and if you can spend so many years learning in French, you should be able to speak it.
And I'm like, no! Have you seen a French person speaking Lingala? And what pisses me off more is the fact that when non-Africans speak African languages with the wrong accent or they pronounce the words really horribly, we praise them. We're like, oh my gosh, good effort. But if you find an African speaking a European language incorrectly, now all of a sudden they're not smart. And I feel like that is something that needs to go in our communities. These languages that we use, whether it's French or it's English, they came to Africa through colonial means. And for me, I don't see it as me telling people like you should not speak French correctly or you should not speak English correctly. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we should have the same energy towards Africans when they speak European languages as we have with Europeans when they speak African languages. Oh my gosh, your accent is so Nigerian. Oh my gosh, your accent is so South African. Oh my gosh, your accent is so African. Okay, I am African. What do you expect? Like, I don't get it. What do you expect? And I also feel like one of the reasons why we tend to devalue our languages is because we do have these European languages as official languages. So we feel like anything that is held to that high standard is a more important language. And that is the message that it sends to a lot of kids, to a lot of generations. And for years, I feel like there hasn't been enough effort for us to even try to incorporate our national languages into the formal settings or into official settings. And I really feel like that is something that us as new generations can implement. We have to make extra efforts to give value to our languages, because I've seen situations where in families, the examples that I'm giving right now are really based on Congo and my own experience. Sometimes you would see families that do not teach their kids the national languages. They don't teach them Lingala, Chiluba, Swahili, or Kikongo, but they teach them French or they teach them English. So these kids grow up to devalue our national languages already. And for me, I feel like all of these things are interconnected. if you're not teaching your kids that the national languages are important, they're going to grow up not valuing these national languages. They're going to grow up walking away from who they are, or trying to walk away from who they are. You know, one of the reasons why I really thank God that I grew up in Congo is the fact that it kept me grounded on who I am no matter where I find myself. And you don't have to be in Congo to have that experience. And I feel like as future parents, we have to make a conscious effort. We have to genuinely be interested in who we are, in what makes us Africans. We live on the best land in the world. The African land is very rich. It has a lot of depth in it. And I feel like the more we find out about it, the more we value it, the more we will want to develop it into what we want it to be, and into something that maybe our kids or their kids will be proud to call home. So really, I would appeal to future leaders, you know, those who are going to be politicians in the future, those who are going to work in those influential fields. Really, I would urge you as an African citizen, do your part in putting some value in our languages, in putting some value in our culture. Show it by the way that you live. Show it by incorporating it in every space that you are into. We need to realize that we are a new generation of leaders rising up. And we need to realize that our choices matter and our actions also matter. We need to be mindful of what we do, how we behave, what we say about Africa, what we say about our countries. But that is all for today, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Do leave your thoughts in the comments. And today's topic, I really wanted it to be a discussion rather than just me discussing this myself. And I feel like a lot of people feel strongly about European languages on the African continent. Do leave your thoughts about what impact you feel like European languages have left on the African continent, and how we can approach this new age that is coming up to ensure that, you know, we give a bit more value into what we have. And what are some of your individual experiences maybe that you have had growing up with regards to the way that Africans look at European languages, or the way that they look at their own national languages and things like that. Just do let us know in the comment. I would really love to read your thoughts, and hopefully we can have a meaningful discussion around this topic. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.